Historically, designers used their hand skills to create works. These works defined and evolved a new category in functional style of art. It's essential that all designers should reflect on the old principles of graphic design and know how to use all these components. Designers should learn the hand skills that are deemed unnecessary and outdated.
We should still learn how to complete pencil sketches, how to trace and reproduce images. We should try to create our own typefaces and hand letter them into our designs.
I do want to encourage people to cut paper, to draw images, to use chalk, to scratch things on a board, to carve things, whatever it might be. Anything that helps you be able to see is a positive thing.
Designers should not allow their work to begin and end within a computer. This limits their thinking and creativity. Designers who can manually work to solve problems, who can work on a design that lies beneath their very fingertips, will evolve more rich, complete works of art. Designers cannot gauge impact based on what they see on a 15-inch screen. They shouldn't think only in terms of fonts installed on their Mac, or let their design be limited by the software's limitations. Design should not be strictly limited to interacting with software. Design should be creating art that functions.
Absolutely, working with your hands is essential to becoming a successful graphic designer. People always try to draw distinctions. They say, well, this was made with, I made this with my hands or whatever. My thought is, who cares how you made it as long as it's good? But when you're working with a computer, you're still working with your hands. You don't tell the computer what to do, and it generates an idea. We start out, most of us good graphic designers start with pencil sketches and thumbnails, and it's about the idea, and then the final execution can be almost anything. I think that students who learn how to use older processes like letterpress printing, just the act of physically arranging letters, looking at them, touching them, realizing that you have to set them up backwards in order to make it read properly. Just being able to do that, you can learn a lot about typography. So I think it's a good way to learn. Absolutely.
Anyone can open Photoshop and create a gradient, or open Microsoft Word and play with clip art while calling themselves graphic artists. But only real graphic artists can use tools of our trade to bring the past and present together, to create art that is beautiful while still creating communication designs that produce results.
I'm a letterpress printer. I mean, that's technically what I do, and so that's, if you don't know exactly what that is, it's printing from a raised surface, and I hand cut basically everything I do. So here's an example of a recent poster. So this type is a small metal type, not unlike this little letter. This one's much larger, but this is a metal piece of monotype, individual type, the letter D. So this type is individually placed in letter forms backwards that are inked and printed. This type is wood type, really old antique wood type. This particular form, in order to get that, I don't have this letter in metal or wood, and I don't have anything like this. I mean, this is a custom image, so that's hand cut. I cut this out by hand, get it, mount it to the same height as this type, which is called type high in letterpress printing, 0.918, and so then I print. This is an edition of the client, in this case, wanted 50 posters, and I printed 75 because I kept some for myself. So I hand print these two color prints. That's 75 times 2 in order to get this edition. Now, why would I go to all that trouble? I mean, there's something different about this poster. You can see that someone made it by hand, and people like that. The computer is kind of cold and it doesn't care, and I care about this, and you hopefully can see it in the print. So yeah, I hand cut almost everything. Almost every piece of design I do, especially the poster work that I do, there's at least some handmade element in the process.
Okay.